Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of season 3 of the Newcastle United series. I'm going to run you through some of the transfers that happened on the deadline day and some of the transfer window so you guys can see what's happened to other teams around the world. See, Musiala's made a massive move to Spurs. Jude Bellingham has somehow ended up at Leverkusen. I can see players that we have brought in and sold. If you watch the episode, you know about that. Jonathan David to Barcelona is a big one. Paqueta to Atalanta. Milinkovic-Savic to Aston Villa as well. Vitinha to Man City. PSG and weaker in the midfield. Selling 4 midfielders. Interesting, Gravenberch to Fiorentina as well. Julian Alvarez leaves Man City. We actually are taking Man City on in the first game of the episodes to see Man City get weaker is a huge boost for us going into this game. Obviously, we all know Man City is a great team no matter who they have in their team on FIFA. And you can see some of the transfers going on here. We're going to get into the first game of the episode up against Man City right now. After we've gone through all of those. And we have made one signing. We brought in Giles. If you know him, he recently had a loan spell, I believe, at Blackburn Rovers. The Wolverhampton Wanderers loanee. He plays for Wolves, but has been on loan this season. He's had a great season. Has been linked to Newcastle in real life. Who brought into replacement Target in the backup spot because, as you guys mentioned, Matt Target is getting older. He's 28 years of age now, turning 29 pretty soon, and he isn't the paciest left back. As you can see, Charles has a lot more pace. Not the greatest defensively, but we can work on it. Obviously, being 24 years of age, he can develop, being 6 foot as well as a decent height to play the backup left back role. And Kieran Trippier is going to remain a backup right back, obviously being the former captain of the first team, and he'll be the captain of the second team going into the season. But let's get into the first game of the episode. As I mentioned, at the Etihad up against Man City, and there's a lot of games for us to get through in this episode. We start our Champions League group stage campaign. We're probably going to get through a bunch of games. We're going to sum a bunch of games as well, play some highlights here and there. I can see the table currently looks like that. We're currently top of the table, undefeated so far. Man City are currently second, undefeated, as well as the likes of Leicester, Crystal Palace and Spurs being also undefeated. Let's get into this one. Take on Man City, you have Phil Foden, Haaland, Bergwijn on the right wing position, Vitinha, Parejo, Rodri, Alphonso Davies, Ruben Dias, Stefan Savic, Joao Cancelo and Ederson in goal. Let's get into this one and hopefully start the episode off with a win to obviously put us into a good form going into this episode and remain undefeated in the Premier League after our 3 wins back-to-back last episode. Let's see if we can pick up a big win up against Man City earlier in the season. Let's see our team that have had a mixed bag of results against in the past. But Kalamawani inside already on him, we scored already. Cody Gakpo finds Kalamawani, who's somehow just drifted into space there. The defence was not paying attention. Stefan Savic just didn't keep an eye behind him, and Ruben Dias maybe just expected Stefan Savic to have a look behind him and come a step back, move closer to him. But unfortunately for Ruben Dias, he didn't. Because Stefan Savic sets up, Ruben Dias tries to come across, but he couldn't, and Ederson can't make the save. And Kalamawani, inside the first 2 minutes of this game, just over their minute mark, puts us 1-0 up here against Man City. Obviously, last season we beat Man City in the Carabao Cup final 6-1, I believe it was in the end. It was an absolutely insane result I didn't expect, but Joe Madoku here. We know we can hit them from range. Joe Madoku deflected, but it still finds the back of the net. It technically might be an own goal, but Joe Madoku, I think, it's going to claim it still because it wasn't target. The shot's going on target. Ederson would probably save it if it wasn't for the deflection from Stefan Savic there, I believe it was. I mean, both Ruben Dias and Stefan Savic went for it, but Man City have started this game horribly here. See, Doku cuts inside, and the deflection there, is it Ruben Dias or Stefan Savic who gets a deflection, taking it past Ederson here? So the shot is taken. I'm not sure who it was, but it leaps up and over Ederson. Nothing he can do about that, and we're 2-0 up here. A little bit of fortune, but Doku gets a goal. Haaland runs through and Pope. There we go. It was saved from Pope. Mason Mount. Forward here, Kalamawani. They make it free. Kalamawani tripping Ederson here, and he has done. For a second, I thought I made a huge mistake there tripping that, but Kalamawani has the ability to find a shot like that. That's an absolutely incredible attempt from Kalamawani, making it 3-0 here. And for some reason up against Man City, we don't struggle whatsoever to score goals, but up against teams like Aston Villa, Fulham, you know, we consider so much, or we struggle so much. But Kalamawani, incredible chip there, just dips last second, side netting, no keeper's ever going to save that. And we're 3-0 up here. I'm going to take off De Ligt, I think, just let him run off the injury. Haaland now, De Ligt, and there, Catherine to Ram now. Rodrigo Morales, interesting here by Vitinha. Mount, going for the centre here. Mason Mount, back post, that's 4. That's a great bit of play though. That cross from Mason Mount's incredible. We're going to send the rest of this game no. Because as you can see, Man City is a team that I can just easily beat. I don't know why it is. It should be one of the hardest teams to beat in FIFA. But in Chroma, they just ain't. For me anyway. No, Trevella crossed there from Mason Mount. The header back across goal from Cullen Moore and his smart finish there. Makes it 4-0. And as I mentioned, we're going to jump to result here. And we're going to end up picking up a 6-2 win with Cody Gakpo and Cullen Moore grabbing 2 goals. After West Ham and Vitinha and Foden scoring for City to get them 2 goals at least to not allow us to not get a clean sheet and save their goal goal difference by a little bit. Okay, first game of the Champions League group stage up against a team we actually faced last season in the round of 16, I believe it was. Inter Milan, a team actually handed us a loss in the first game, and then we then pulled off a massive comeback away from home in the San but at home in St James's Park. I'm not sure, I'm struggling to speak here. We end up picking up a 2-2 draw to start the group stage off. It's not the best result, but Jeremy Doku and Colin Moore scored for us, and Richarlison and Kalulu scored for them. Now back in the Premier League, our second team is up for this one, up against Everton here, and we should be able to get a victory up against Everton with the second team. End up picking up a 2-1 win with Elisa scoring a late goal and Enrique scoring early on for us to get us the 2 goals we needed to win that game. And the second team up against Carlisle United in the EFL Cup, obviously a competition we won 2 years in a row. We ended up picking up a 5-0 victory with Doku, Gordon, Enrique. Anthony Gordon scores again, and Enrique 2 goals. Love to see that. Okay, the first team are back in action here, up against Norwich City, a team that we should have easily beat here. They still have up against Norwich City here, a team that we should easily beat with our first team. So quicks in this one here. And Jeremy Doku, 25 rating, great growth from there. We end up with a 3-2 victory. Doku, Kalimawani, and Kalimawani scores twice. I have to see that is in great goal scoring form this season, Kalimawani. Okay, next game here in the Champions League group stage up against RB Salzburg, a team we should easily beat here. Also picked up a 2-2 draw in the first game. We'll pick up a 5-1 win in this one with Doku, Kalimawani, Mason Mount, and Jeremy Doku scores a hat-trick. Love to see that from him. And now up against Wolves in the Premier League here. They're currently down in 13th place. We're going to assume this one with the first team. And again, it should be an easy victory for the first team. We pick up a 1-1 draw. Enis Unal goes a goal for them, and Mason Mount scores for us. Luckily, we get a point now, and we still remain undefeated. But I thought we would easily beat Wolves there. It's kind of a disappointing result. And now up against bottom of the table, Bournemouth here. They've only got 1 point this season, so the second team should easily get a victory here. If they don't, I'm going to be surprised. Ends up being a 2-0 win with Enrique and Joe Willock scoring the goals. Okay, back in the Champions League, a team that are currently top of the group stage. You can see they've got Charles de Keita, they've got Oya Sanset in their team. They've got Kevin Danso as well in the centre back role. They've got a pretty decent team there. Got Gabara and Goldo, Solly March down the right wing. Interesting team there, Roger Ibanez in their team as well. But I've seen this one with the first team. We should easily beat this Monaco team, I feel like. Got Castellanos up front as well. And we get a 4-1 victory, with Cody Gakpo scoring a goal there. Cullen Warney scores, and Jeremy Doku again with 2 goals. He's in great goal scoring from himself here. Okay, back in the Prem, Aston Villa up next. We're not actually going to use our second team for this one, judging by the team. They've actually got a pretty decent team despite them being down in 13th place in the league. Going to send this one with the first team, hopefully get a victory here up against a team that's causes issues in the past. We get a 1-1 draw yet again. Doku scores for us. But again, another draw gives teams a chance to catch up to us. But we should be winning these games. Okay, back in the Carabao Cup here, the second team up against Exeter here. It should be an easy win for this second team. Ends up being a 2-1 win. Anthony Gordon and Medina scoring the goals. Up against West Ham now, we're going to sim this again with the first team, as I mentioned. We're going to sim a bunch of games this season because there's no point in us playing these. We've already won the Premier League twice. We've already won the Carabao Cup twice and the FA Cup twice. The only thing we're focusing on that much is the Champions League trophy, sorry. Cullen Moore and Mason Mount scored 2 goals, gets a 2-1 victory up against West Ham. Okay, back in the Champions League up against AS Monaco again. Here we're going to sim this one yet again. We should get a victory the second time round as well. Going to get a 1-1 draw. Cullen Moore scores a goal in the 64th minute for us, but Devon Zapata scores for them. And that should guarantee us to go through anyway, but I think first place is still up for grabs after that draw. But we'll find out later in the episode. And now it's time for us to actually play a game in this episode because Leicester City are currently second in the league, 2 points behind us because we've got Julian Alvarez up front, we've got Carlos Soler in the team, Conrad Lima and Didi, Pedro de la Vega, who also was a great player for us in AC Milan. So we've got Robert Sanchez in goal, I believe it is. We've got Piers Schurz in the defence as well. Let's get into this game. We should beat Leicester, but they are second in the team's table, so they obviously are a decent team, getting relegated in real life though. They could not be further from the team they have been in real life in this season. But let's get into this one and hope to get a win up against Leicester. Currently.
Well, no surprise to see us
Perfectly timed pass there. Gakpo up. Okay, Mount, hit that. There we go. We got very fortunate there with the way that bounce through there to Mason Mount. But yeah, I was hoping Gakpo would spin around there. I tried to tell him to turn around, but he's just got too many shirt pulls going on there, too many nudges that he couldn't do so. And he ended up losing the ball, but luckily for us, Mason Mount was arriving in the box, managed to intercept the clearance. You can see the clearance intercepted, and then he rifles it past the goalkeeper and puts us 1-0 up here. Trying to go defending there against Leicester. Corner here for Leicester. Whipped in. Head by Colomwani, and as far as Conrad Limedo. Julian Alvarez, that wide to Carlos Soler. The man has not really had the best time at PSG. And again, that's pretty much quite. Oh, Pope, he didn't even try to save that. Dutchman driving forward. Brennan Morris scored one against Man United last episode. Hits a crossbar this time round though. Suck of the ball here. Trent. Catherine Tadam. We know can hit them from range.
Now with Tierney.
We had the option to do so there though.
You just get the feeling they need to make the most of one of these chances.
There's a mark. Catherine Tadam. There we go. Patient football. Just keep the ball, wait for the passes to open up, and Catherine Tadam makes the run to the edge of the box. The first time, rifles it into the bottom right hand corner. Nothing Robert Sanchez can do about that one. Puts us back in the lead here. Yeah, getting some patient football working out for us. Switching play with Tierney there to Trent. Mason Mount lays it off, and then Tadam just rifles it past the keeper and puts us back in the lead here. Mason Mount to Catherine. Tadam. Mount. Oh, why did he side foot it? So he put his laces through that and hit it. Okay, how's that got through? How did that get through? I'm sorry, but how did that pass find its way past the lip today? Carlos Soler makes it 2-2 here.
Well, let's look at this again, Derek, because
the how has that got through?
Is so quick, and then what a strike, really close to the mark.
And there we go.
It's just a case of whether they think that's enough.
Gakpo, not sure I've been beaten to that by pair of shares, but sure. Mason Mount now. Mason Mount from range. Mason Mount! That's a great strike from Mason Mount. It's an incredible shot from Mason Mount. They're going foul at the back now, so our efforts can be more from range now, because obviously foul at the back you just can't play through balls against. There's just no room to play passes around them. Not sure why they've gone more defensive when it's 2-2 and they have a chance to win this game. Not sure why they've done that, but Mason Mount has just got all the room there to find that shot. No one's going to block it, because indeed he shots back. He's a centre back, and there's an incredible shot. There's no saving that one, and we're back in the lead here.
And a goal has gone in at the Emirates. Let's hear about it from Alex.
It's a goal for West Ham.
Tierney, that just isn't a legal challenge in football, lad. Not sure why he tried that. Okay, get that out. Okay, what is it with clearances and just going nowhere? Of course they score. I put like 3/4 of the ball behind that clearance, and Currentini just dinks it up into midfield.
Alvarez. Well timed tackle.
Defending.
Well, attacking possibilities.
Doku into Mason Mount here. There we go. You're not getting a win against us, Leicester, or a point. You're not getting either. You don't deserve either. We're a much better team. You got fortunate with your goals, especially the first one that just rolled through past the lid somehow, and the third one as well was also fortunate. But Mason Mount with another goal here gets himself a hat-trick in this game. So it's a great free ball from Jeremy Doku. And the first time shot from Mason Mount. There's no saving that, and we're 4-2 up here. Or 4-3 up here, sorry. 93 minutes. Trent Alexander-Arnold now. Trent Alexander-Arnold running through. Trent hits one, denied by Sanchez. And now, not only in this game here, going to whip this one in. Ties to it. Can he win the header? He doesn't. Going to head it back. And Jeremy Doku under right a volley yard. That would have been incredible if that found the back of the net. But we should get a victory here. about 10 seconds after the game.
That's a great effort on the volley.
Sanchez goes long, but we can win that header of attorney. And that's the end of the game. It's a 4-3 win at St James's Park. Let's get into our next game up against Arsenal. Okay, so for this game up against Arsenal, they're currently 4th in the Premier League, and Arsenal have never been a team that we've already struggled against in this Chroma, so we're going to play the highlights of this one up against them. And we should be able to get a victory up against them. We've got some great growth. Mount up to an 88, Cullen Warner to 89 now. Same with Delit, went to an 89, joining Trent and Militao on that rating. Let's get into this one and hopefully get a win here using the highlights at the Emirates Stadium. So the first highlight is a solo run here for us, and this should be a rather profitable attack because obviously it's one-on-one here. Kadamawani. Let's feed that through to Cody Gakpo. It wasn't the greatest pass. Cody Gakpo. Okay, I thought Kadamawani was going to mess it up then. He just starts moving forward for a second, and I thought the defender was going to stop us there. But Kadamawani gets a tap in there pretty much, makes it 1-0. To us, obviously the result we need so far. And the second highlight here goes to Arsenal across an opportunity here. Something we need to try and defend here. Got Trent here. Odegaard is looking for Jesus maybe. But Odegaard shoots near post and hits the post. Martinelli, okay, the ball went out now, I believe. Running Amara's now on the ball here in the 27th here. Bringing the ball forward for us. We don't have any options in the centre. So we're just going to take it out wide here and then get challenged by Fabio Vieira. Okay. But Bruno Gomes put more of a fight than that. But 37th minute here, we get a chance there down the left hand side. Cody Gakpo. The Gakpo now. Okay, yeah, okay. I was hoping to go inside and fire a strike, but apparently not. 46th minute here. Get another attack here. We need to make it 2-0 because Arsenal have a decent team. There's a Mount. Running Amaras. There's a Mount now. Can he hit one from range? Mason Mount. Okay, if that was going to go in, that's annoying. I hate when it just cuts it off, but how is he onside if he's like that far forward? You know what I mean? Like, Martinelli now. I wasn't letting him select the player I want to select. But great goalkeeping there from Pope. Martinelli has completely screwed it up for Arsenal there. He should have squared it across to Jesus, I believe it was. It would have had a simple tap in. But in the 67th minute here, Mason Mount tries the ball forward for us. Goes it back. Again, we're just going to control the ball. Work it forward. Mason Mount now. Shooting position here. Mason Mount. Okay, it needs to stop cutting away every time I shoot from range, because either that's going to be a save from Ramsdale there, or it's going to find the back of the net. And I don't know what it's going to be. Trent, good defending. That's something they need to fix in the next game. The fact it cuts off in highlights out of nowhere. I've actually had it before where the ball's about to go into the back of the net and it cuts off. But Arsenal, 90th minute here, Muslim Omar. Militao, incredible challenge there. Currently almost gave them a chance there. But it's a 1-0 win. You love to see it. And the next game is in the Champions League against Inter Milan. We're going to send this one yet again, and we should this time get a victory against them. Hopefully, anyway, get a victory against them. We've got a 2-0 win with Almiron getting a goal and Kadamawani scoring. Love to see it. And for the final game episode, we're going to play the highlights of this one up against Liverpool. We're currently third in the league, so they've got a decent team. They've got Sam Botman, the player that we sold to them due to obviously was bringing the likes of Cody Gakpo. We bought Trent Alexander-Arnold from them and a couple of players along the way. So I thought selling him to them made the most sense, just to have a little bit of realism there. Obviously, one team wouldn't just solely buy from one team, but the other team getting something in return. So we gave them Botman, who's not playing for us at this point. Let's get into this one. They've got Alexander Bar at right back as well. He's a very good right back in this game. Rodrigo Laporte and Barea in midfield alongside Fabinho. Roberto Firmino up front. Interesting that they still have him. Let's get into this one. Hopefully end the episode off with a win. Okay, so the first highlight goes to Liverpool here in the 2nd minute. Down the left hand side of the pitch. I'm not sure why there's no midfield for us there, but we'll set all the way back. Luis Diaz now. Good defending from Matthias de Ligt. Now Liverpool get a corner kick here in the 4th minute. And it's like Liverpool are going to get all the highlights go their way for this game. I felt like it's been a bit too nasty to me in recent games. Corner went in here by Laporte, headed clear by Kolo Muani. Now Jerome Doku, obviously we would have been able to have a counter-attack in the actual game, but in the highlights it cuts off, which is rather annoying. But Mason Mount from the corner, can he find Matthias de Ligt? It's a decent corner, too close to Alisson, no. That's annoying. But in the 35th here, we're getting an attack of our own. Obviously Liverpool, as I mentioned, are 3rd in the league, so we're a decent team. this season. Kalambawani. He's holding onto the ball here, Kalambawani. So it's to turn around a lot quicker than he did. Gakpo, former Liverpool man, over to Mason Mount. A simple tap in there for Mount. And it's 1-0 here. And a great piece of play yet again here. Some patient football. That's what we play. Patient football. We wait for the passes to open up and then we play them and we finally finish at the end of it. And Mason Mount crossing this off. Another goal. Obviously one of our better goal scorers last season and proven to be one of them again this season. And more of a career as well this season as well. I've noticed it's getting more assists as well, which we like to see. And Nicola Barre, the Italian, driving forward here late on. And tries to pull off that back heel to Firmino, but Trent. Okay. What's going on here, Trent? Need to deny him. Okay, surely not, right? Surely not. Hold him off. That's how good defending. And Liverpool in the 60th minute here, having an attack down the right hand side. Getting in behind Trent Alexander-Arnold here. Roberto Firmino. Okay, we got very fortunate over that challenge from De Ligt, not taking out the player there. For a second I thought he was going to give away a penalty, but good clearance there from Militao, as well as stopping the player getting a shot away there. And Catherine Thuram. Jeremy Doku, the Belgian. Just controlling the ball here, looking for a pass to play. Catherine Thuram. Travella here from Catherine Thuram. Why did he go near post? We have a red card, I just noticed. We've got a player sent off, not sure who. But corner here for Mason Mount later on. I think it's De Ligt actually, you know. Was it De Ligt who got sent off? No, De Ligt's still in there. De Ligt's header almost finds the back of the net. It's another 1-0 win. We'll take it. And so end the episode off here by showing you the league table and the rest of the stuff like that. Okay, as I mentioned, to end the episode there, obviously you can see we're currently top of the table with 35 points, clear of Man City by a decent amount. We're still undefeated as well, which is a great achievement. Obviously in the Carabao Cup we're currently going through, I don't know, it's up to the Community Shield. The FA Cup we haven't been given the game yet, obviously that will happen in the next episode. But in the Carabao Cup we're currently in the quarterfinals taking on Middlesbrough, so we should get a win there. And judging by the teams left in this competition, we should win this competition again. Arsenal are the only team that could challenge us for the title, and I think we should easily beat them as well. And in the Champions League, in the group stage, we currently are top of the table, one game left up against Salzburg. Unfortunately, I think Militao got suspended for that game. Also against Salzburg, we're going to use our second team for that one. I should get a victory in that. To show you how the team is performing in terms of the player stats, to give you a more in-depth look at the players. And it says the most goals scored, Kalambawani with 18 and 5. Incredible season for him so far. Jeremy Doku as well with 12 and 5. And Mason Mount behind him with 9 and 6. And Enrique in 4 games, 4 goals and 1 assist. Good work from Anthony Gordon as well there. Cody Gakpo doing decent as well. Not the most involvements in this game. Obviously we've been swimming a bunch of games, so we don't really get to see the most from everyone. But next episode, we're possibly going to play a few more games because we've got some big games coming up. Obviously we'll have the Champions League round of 16 in the next episode, maybe the quarterfinals as well. Because we've got Spurs, we've got Chelsea in the league as well, we've got Man United. And obviously in here we will have the round of 16 in the Champions League. I believe it's February or is it March we have it, but Liverpool there as well. And then Arsenal as well, probably next episode. We've got some big games. And that's going to call it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and turn notifications so you don't miss any videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Thank you for watching and goodbye.